You do when you lie.
Whatever would you do when you lie?
No, what would you do when you lie?
What would I do when I lie? Well, if I told a lie to you when I know it's not best to lie to you because I'm working on establishing a point of trust with you where you can understand things in our world more effectively. If I lied to you, if I told a little lie or a white lie, I would make the correction and tell you what the reality was.
We don't have any more cookies. Well, that's not home.
Right. Okay, so those were the two examples that I was telling you of white lies. We were talking about a white lie being an example of that where I've felt in the past like maybe I would tell a lie, but I deliberately try not to. Like I don't. Deliberately don't tell a lie. Sometimes I make mistakes, but when an example of that was if I knew I didn't want you to have any more cookies, and if I were to say, we don't have any more cookies when I know we do have some, then that would be considered a white lie because that's not the reality
We have cookies.
We do.
Where is it?
We do have cookies. But if I didn't want you to eat cookies, I should just say, I don't want you to eat cookies and explain why.
You do white lie to me.
You want me to give you another white lie? Okay, what's a good white lie to tell?
You tell me.
A white lie?
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't have anyone.
You want to just use that one? Okay, what about I tell you the white lie of it's time to go to bed now? Is it time to go to bed?
No.
How do you know it's not time to go to bed?
See the sun?
Yeah, you can see the sun. That's true.
So that's why you're not?
But maybe I would be trying to tell you I want you to go to bed right now. Or it's time for bed because I'm trying to manipulate you to get something that I want. Or I'm just trying to get you to go to sleep.
Hey, do you want a cookie?
I don't want a cookie right now. Do you want one?
I'll give you a cookie.
But Max, I don't want a cookie right now.
Okay, I'll get a cookie.
If you want one for yourself, that's cool. So we were talking about white lies, and the reason we were talking about it is because someone today in our environment told Max a white lie. And it kind of went like, Max had taken something out of a drawer in our house, and this person said to him, oh, put that back because next time that we get together, I'm going to need that and I'm going to show you what we're going to need it for. And I knew that that wasn't the case and that this person was just trying to get Max to put the thing back, right? And manipulate instead of just telling Max directly, hey, look, that's a small piece. When you're done with it, could you take it back and put it back in the drawer? So instead, it was this very subtle, like little white lie. What's up? Did you find the cookies? Okay. See, now what if I had told you that there weren't any more cookies, but now you're big enough where you can go check if there are more cookies or not?
No, there are.
Yeah, there's obviously more cookies. So, and don't pour them out, okay? Just open them up right here. That way we don't get crumbs.
So
You can have one. You can have. I do not want one right now, but I'll let you just eat yours, and we can put these ones back in the container. Now, if I didn't want you to have a cookie right now, and I knew why, I had a reason for it, or even if I just didn't want you to, then I could explain to you, I don't want you to have that cookie, Max. But since you're your own person, come sit over here. That way I can put you on the video. You're your own person, so you could say, why don't you want me to have a cookie, Mom? And maybe then I could explain myself.
Another lie.
You want to hear another lie?
I don't want to have a cookie.
Well, if I said, I don't want you to have a cookie, that might actually be the truth. That might actually be true. But if I said, hey, Max, there are no more cookies, is that true or is that a lie?
That's a lie.
In this case, it is a lie because we literally have more cookies. We can see them right there. So what I'm saying is Dad and I work together to break that habit of lying to kids, because a lot of parents...
See, this moon is half.
A little half moon?
Yeah.
A little crescent moon. Some parents lie to their children, lie to their kids, because it's kind of easy and convenient, especially when they're really little. So Dad and I are working on breaking that habit, because we learned that habit too.
Why are you breaking that habit?
Well, breaking a habit is kind of like a cliche. It just means stopping that pattern of behavior. So stopping the lying pattern. Because a habit is something where you've done something so many times, your automatic response is to do that behavior. So for a lot of people, they lie to their kids because they've heard it so many times from their own parents, and they've seen so many people just lie to their kids. They think it's normal, but it also becomes an automatic behavior. So you'll lie to your kids even though you don't intend to, even though it's not your conscious intention, you'll do it anyways. And that has happened to me a few times, and I'll catch myself, and then I'll make sure and I'll tell you, hey Max, that wasn't true, what I just told you. And here's what the case actually is. Like, for example, if we had cookies in the house and I told you we didn't, I would say, I haven't done that, but I would have said, actually, Max, we do have cookies, but look, I don't want you to eat any more cookies. And here's why. Because you've already had a lot of cookies, and I know that your body is busy processing a lot of sugar right now. So it's not actually best for your body to have more sugar. And then what have we've done in the past is we talk about insulin. We talk about all the structures in your body that are busy processing sugar. We might talk about all the extra energy that's being produced in your body that has nowhere to go, that kind of thing. So we would have a discussion about it instead of it being something where I'm just lying to you. White lies cut off the discussion. It makes it so you don't have to go further with it. And the thing is, it is more challenging to not tell a white lie. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's more challenging, but what you'll learn is that your kids learn how to lie from you. So if you're telling little white lies thinking it's not going to create a consequence, that's where your kids learn to lie. And I think it's really cool with you, Max, because we've set it up where, also because we're not punishing you, we're not using punishment, even little minor forms of punishment, then you've been pretty confident in terms of telling us things that are going on around, or that you've done that maybe not be best, but you still tell us about it because we're not punishing you. So you're not having to lie because you're not being punished. But he's also not learning lying from us. So anyways, I just wanted to bring that through because I was looking at that point today more, and it's challenging in the beginning to not do the white lies or to break that habit, but it is worth it. It is so much better for your relationship with your kid to come from a starting point where they can trust everything that you're saying is the reality of things.
When is Dad going to be home?
Well, Dad told me that he would be home in 1 hour, about 1 hour. But the reality is, Dad can't necessarily predict when he's going to be home because something might come up where he needs to focus on it. So I would guess that he would be home by about 5 o'clock.
No, not 5.
Right now, what time is it right now?
4 o'clock.
You're right. It is exactly 4 o'clock. How do you know that? How do you know that it's 4?
I see the sweat and pointing at the 4.
Where's the long hand?
Pointing at the 12.
That means o'clock, right? That means it's on the hour. So it's 4 o'clock. That's pretty awesome. You're pretty good at telling time now. He's only 3.
How does move?
Okay, another thing is, which is why building your kids' vocabulary is so important, is that one reason you have to lie to your kids is because you're actually treating them like they're stupid. And the reality is...
The long hand is pointing at the 12.
That's right. It is pointing at the 12.
Whee!
So,
I'm jumping on top.
and the lying stops working the more your kids start to develop, right? But if you're supporting your kid to be smart and to have a high vocabulary and to be able to understand what you're saying, then the discussions that you're
What
having,
is a high vocabulary?
a high vocabulary means that you have a lot of words built in, right?
So what's the words?
What do you mean?
Like, very high vocabulary.
Well, lots of words. Like, you know lots of words. You learned some new words today.
Yeah.
So let me explain something to you. I'm not going to let you eat another cookie just because these cookies have a lot of sugar in them. They have 10 grams of sugar.
Well, I'm gonna put a cookie on top of our car so that Dad can come and get.
That's nice. Why don't we just put these cookies on the counter?
What happened to this cup holder?
It just got stained a little bit. We can wipe that out. But do you understand why I'm saying I don't want you to have another cookie? I'm not going to let you have another one. Because you just ate a whole cookie.
What does that say?
It says Uncle Eddie's vegan peanut butter chocolate chip cookies. Net weight 12 ounces, 340 grams, made with organic grains and sweeteners. So it has 10 grams of sugar, I think per cookie. Yeah, per cookie. So what we're going to do is let your body process, give your body some time after you eat a cookie. And then if you still want another cookie, like later in like 30 minutes or so, then we can discuss it again. Okay? Does that make sense?
We would have some stuff like a gummy berry, like sour.
Okay, maybe we can do that in 30 minutes instead of cookies. Does that make sense? Right now, if you're still hungry, I can make you toast or a sandwich or...
Well, I have
You can go check out some things you might want to eat.
what?
You can go look. But when your kid has a high vocabulary, you can start to have these rational, reasonable discussions with them, and that way you don't need to lie to them. And they will ask you questions, and it might take a long time. You might be talking about cookies for an hour, but if you can develop that patience and support your child with that process, then again, you're just establishing a foundation of trust. Now, one other thing is that point that I was saying about parents having this habit of telling white lies. This is another reason why I would recommend that when your child is under 5, that you have a parent with them all the time. Because you may not lie to your kids, but
Sugar.
you're right, that doesn't have very many grams of sugar in it.
Okay.
So why don't you pick out a few and then, but I wouldn't eat the whole bag because then you won't have any more for later.
I'm gonna see how much I want.
Okay, how much do you think you would want? Or you're just going to eat them and decide until you're done? So when your kid is around other people, they will automatically lie to your kids. Like it's a habit that we've built up as a society to tell these little white lies to kids so that we don't have to explain, so that we don't have to give full context. And I mean, people do it for Max all the time, like when we're at the grocery store, when we're at the playground, like all the time. And it's not, it's not ill-intended. It's not malicious. It's this little subtle point that most people don't even realize they're doing it.
Well, we eat this whole and then we can burn our pack.
That's true. You're right. That's a good point.
Okay, let's do that.
Why don't you eat what you would like to eat out of there? Because you're right, those don't have very much sugar in them.
So I'll eat.
Why don't you eat as much as you want, but you don't have to eat the whole pack, right? You just eat as much as you'd like to eat. And then if there's still some left and you can tell that you don't want any more, or that your body is kind of not wanting any more, then you can put the rest back.
Okay.
All right, cool.
And eat the rest another day.
That's true. So you can eat the rest another day. You want to show us what you're eating?
So I mean this.
What is that?
Little gummy bear.
Little gummy bears. Are they tasty?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a challenging enough thing to do, and if you don't have a long-term vested interest in your child and them developing trust with you, but there's other people that are telling them white lies, it's very hard to catch that, and it's very hard to support them. I mean, I can say that because I have to work with myself on breaking that habit. And I don't lie to him, but it still comes up as a habit, as like an automatic behavior,
Mom,
as a thought within me.
I have to.
You can have them. We discussed that already.
I have them with you.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
Like you eating one and I'll eat the other.
Well, I don't want any right now.
Okay.
But you're welcome to have as much as you'd like.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to eat any of them right now.
Okay. I'll have 10.
10? Are there 10 in the packet?
Yeah.
Maybe you can count them and find out if there's 10 in there.
1. 2.
This is really cool example too of our approach to sugar, because we don't say no sugar, but we are supporting him to be more aware of what happens when he has too much sugar. And he can tell he's pretty good about self-regulating, and just eating as much as he'd like. Unless we go somewhere, if we go somewhere where there's like some kind of cake or something that has a lot of sugar, like all in one small little tiny amount of the cake, then it can be a bit overwhelming. But he's pretty good with the stuff that he picks out for himself, to not eat too much.
I'm going to eat 10 of these.
Yeah? 10, did you count already?
No, I didn't.
What number were you on?
I was on 3.
3?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's a part of, there's so many parts where I would recommend that you be with you have someone with your kids. I'm just talking in general.
Who's watching you?
No one right now, because this is not a live video. It's just a video I'm recording that later on I'll put online. I'll put on Facebook. So no one's watching right now. Because I wasn't sure if I would get to finish, and so I just decided not to do it live. But I'll still post it. I'll post the recording. It's recording right now, see? That's why there's a red square.
It was red circle.
Red circle means it's not recording. That means you can record at any moment if you push the red circle, but then it turns into a square when it is recording.
It was the white thing.
That's so you can take a picture. Look, see? Watch. Every time I push that, it'll take a picture. So, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, if you let other people tell your kids white lies, what we do when we're out in our world is I will correct that in the moment.
What if you push the square?
If I push the square, it will stop recording.
I'm just stop.
Well, I just want to say a few more things and then we'll stop, right? I just want to say a few more things. Okay. So for example, with that point that came up today, where the person was telling Max, oh, put that away because we want to make sure we have it for next time because we're going to use it next time I come over. And even though it's like the thing I knew we weren't going to use it next time. And I'll ask, like, are we actually going to use it next time you come over? And this person said no. And so then I made the correction and told Max, look, this person is telling you to put that back because they are concerned that you might lose it. And so give Max that opportunity to to check that point, right? And it also has him seeing me correct what I see as a white lie and identify that it's a white lie and correct it. Instead of it being something where you just kind of ignore it and it becomes normal to tell little white lies. So I do that when we're out in public. Like I prefer to, and it's challenging for me because I have a naturally I have a natural tendency to want to please people and to not create conflict. So for me, that has been a real big thing to push through, of making sure that when I'm out in public with my kids, I'm doing what's very, very best for them and supporting them.
Square.
You're going to push the square, but that'll turn the video off. Are you done making this video? You want to do something else?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to say goodbye?
Goodbye.
How many gummy bears did you eat?
I didn't eat them yet.
Not yet. Okay, bye-bye.